So in the last video, we kind of discussed about how the internet works. So we explained what's a domain, how are data packets transferred, what's an IP address, what's a router, what are the different protocols. And one key term that we discussed is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is HTTP. And my understanding was that it's kind of the rule base in reaching out to different parts of the internet. And I thought I would shed some light on what my understanding of HTTP is today. I read up on it and I found a really nice article that I'm going to link below. Um, so what HTTP is, it's basically a protocol or a set of rules on the internet that tells you how to go uh, and request a web client how to request is a web server on what information you are trying to fetch, or tell the server what information that you are trying to provide, right? So for instance, if for example I am going to again www sorry I'll say https www.google.com slash, and I'll take the actual URL which is um, search equals rabbits, right, or something like that. Let me actually paste the actual link. Google, yeah, sorry, rabbits, right? So it's something like this, right? Um, so it's something like this, right? So you're asking Google that this is I'm looking for rabbits and this is my search term, right? What it actually does, it tells the web server, which is from server from Google, right, that the user from IP address is requesting for a search term rabbits, right? Now, how does this entire piece of information go to Google, and Google gives us uh, the information, right? So what HTTP does is it takes the data, takes this data and sends something called a request header, right? And it tells Google that the user is giving a get method, right? Where get method means the client is asking for something from the server. They are going to a sorry they are going to a URL which has the path search, and the body requires a search term rabbits, right? This is what my understanding is. And now once Google gets this information, it starts something called response header, and it shows um, the information, right? So how do these actual things work? All right. So, oh yeah, oh, I may have missed something. Actually, this particular thing is going to them as post method. So basically, Google is saying that the request header contains the search term rabbits, which came from the user. The client posted this term rabbits, and it wants you to get this search terms for rabbits, and the response header contains the information. So how do these actually look? So there is this nice article from Cloudflare. So what's an HTTP method? So if you look at request headers, it's saying that the authority is google.com. The method is get, so the person is asking for getting something, and the scheme is HTTPS, which is secure, and it will accept only text or HTML content, and it is using a browser from Mozilla 5.0. And in response, HTTP sends, what is the content type, the date, what is the status code. Now, what are these status codes exactly? The status codes are basically telling the browser if it's a successful information coming back. So if the code is something in lines of 200 or 201, it's a success. If it is 300, 301 or something like that, it's a redirection. So you're going to some other website. If it's 400 or more, it's a client error. So it has something to do with you or your browser. And if it is 5 or more, it's a server error. So there is a issue from Google side, right? So these are the status codes of HTTP. So yeah, that's my basic understanding of what this means. I hope I could answer some questions. If not, welcome to Dumb Learning, which is where I try to understand concepts and explain it in a simple manner to you.